Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The semi-final series between Fnatic and ROC has managed to go the full distance. I hope my voice manages to go with it as well.
So too.
We're ready to head into the deciding Game 5. And before we go there, I want to touch a little bit on a couple of players from that last one. Starting out with Rekkles, 9-3-1 as Vayne in that last game, but wasn't able to. That last team fight especially just didn't have any impact. Got too far forward and ended up going down.
So Vayne is a great late game champion, of course, but you have fairly low range, and when you have so many gap closers against you, like again, we had the Cassidy, we had Aurelia jumping, Xaxus as well, it made him worse in the late game compared to the Tristana, who could just sit back and do so much more damage compared to what Rekkles could do. And remember, the whole comp of Fnatic was built around Rekkles and him doing all the damage in the late game together with xPeke. It just didn't work. There's too many gap closers. Tristana is one of the best late game carries, if not the best at the moment. So once we got to late game, ROC just had such a good combat at shutting down Rekkles on Vayne, and therefore also making the late game simply better for ROC.
Okay then, so let's talk about his opposite number, Celaver, who finished 10-7 as Tristana. They banned out Kog'Maw here because they didn't want ROC first picking it. They took Tristana instead, and I would argue that because that game went the way it did, that Tristana was a better pick anyway.
Yeah, it definitely, 100% agree. With all the gap closers from ROC, Vayne couldn't do anything in late game, ended up being pretty much useless in the late game team fights compared to what Celaver could do on the Tristana. So in that case, yeah, really paid off for ROC here. We might see the same bans coming into the series here, and then Fnatic first picking a Tristana, just to have like one of these long-range late-game AD carries.
Yeah.
Instead of having to rely on the Vayne as the late-game carry, which we can then see ROC do the same deal, where they go for all these gap closers, which then also opens up for, is Cassidy going to be left open now by ROC, even though it could be potentially first picked by Fnatic, but then you get the AD carry on the side of ROC. So do you want to make the trade? You also get the Nami pickup or the Morgana pickup, whichever support you want. Right now, going into this pick and bans phase, there is a lot of questions. I'm not going to be surprised though if we do see an AD carry first pick.
You think we'll see a change in, so I mean, if we look at some of the last focus, especially like the likes of Orianna, who Overpow basically has bad experience playing against Peke when he's playing, or just anyone really playing Orianna. He's constantly fell behind to Orianna players on a massive, massive scale. I guess we can just stop asking questions and find out for sure here, because Maokai is banned away, Nidalee taken away from sOAZ as well.
Yeah, so Maokai being banned all 5 games by Fnatic, Elise being banned all 5 games by Fnatic as well. Evelyn, okay, so 2 jungle bans already. Last game we had Jarvan for Cyanide. Didn't actually pay off too well, especially not the late game where he couldn't actually do anything, which is not really his fault. And of course, Kha'Zix been the jungler for Jankos every single game. Not even sure if Fnatic want to try and invest an early pick into taking it away from Jankos, or they find it. Oh well, you could also ban it.
Or ban it out. What are we going to see as the final one here for ROC? I don't know about leaving Cassidy against Fnatic.
Well, true, because okay, they ban it now.
What Orianna?
That's actually smart.
Save first pick.
You need to get you need to get the AD carrier, but it does mean Tristana can be locked in for Celaver on the other side and they can kind of trade AD carries. And then a potential Orianna lock-in coming for Overpow if he wants it. We also have to look at the fact we have all these jungle bans, so early jungle picks could be the option. Remember, Cyanide has Evelyn and Elise as his 2 main champions.
Yeah.
And he has like 10 plus KDA in both. But his Lee Sin, he has won 1 game, lost 4, has a KDA of like 1.25 or whatever it is, like really, really bad KDA on it. He's not been having good games on Lee Sin. So if Jarvan gets locked in here, it should almost mean a Rengar pickup for Cyanide. Not a Lee Sin, which is my point.
Yeah. Well, it will be Jarvan here for Jankos, so taking that away from Cyanide. He's fallen back to it in the previous games that we've seen. In fact, played 2 of them over with that Jarvan, and
no.
I'm not sure about this one. Fizz, for me, the look on Overpow's face there just tells me that ROC have run the time down too late and were undecided as to what they're going for. First pick Fizz on, and this goes back to what you were saying earlier on of ROC believe that Fnatic want Fizz, so they're taking it early.
Yeah, it must be the case where ROC is afraid of Fnatic picking up the Fizz themselves, so they take it early. I mean, Nami was open, Morgana was open, Tristana was an option too. A lot of options, like Nidalee was banned away. Could maybe look towards the top lane. Is there an important pick they want for Xaxus? So he's not forced to go back to Aatrox. Just a reminder, the 2 games Rocket has lost today, they played Fizz in the mid lane, they played split push / pick comp focused, while Fnatic would then play a lot of team fight based comps, which they have just been locking in once again now. You have the Lulu, you have the Nami to peel. For your hyper carry, it's full team fight based already. And Rocket had no answer because they would often fall behind. They tried to jump into these team fights early to mid game. They would lose the team fights. Fall behind, could never split push, could never get the pick comps. And Fnatic would then just take all the gold, win all the team fights, and win the game here. So I really have to question their Fizz login from Overpow here. He's not been looking too impressive on it today.
I wonder if Fnatic are just going to go Rengar, Orianna here for the final 2.
Should definitely pick up Orianna. They already have so much protection.
Get the ball in there. You've got Lulu already for that top lane for sOAZ. Although Lulu's not been his most impressive champion, we'll see. We'll see how that one all works out. We are going to be seeing the Tristana once again. That was almost a given with the first big Kog'Maw anyway. Thresh for VandeR. Game number 1, Thresh was amazing for him. His hooks were insane.
So it must be the same deal where he doesn't want to log in Morgana against Nami just for the laning phase. And as we just talked about here, if they do log in, they do. So we get Rengar for Cyanide and we get Orianna for xPeke in the mid lane. But anyway, the Thresh pickup here, again, it must be because he doesn't want to play Morgana into the Nami. Even though the Morgana would be able to protect Celaver a lot better in the late game teamfights, especially now against a Rengar who can jump onto your carry, root him, and then there's a shockwave following and your AD carry dies. But actually, I would have saved him. Now he needs to rely on the Lantern from VandeR instead if he wants to stay alive here. So far, I really feel like Fnatic are looking very, very strong in this pick and ban phase. Lulu top lane was nerfed here in this patch. Lost again some of her utility on her Q. It no longer gets to slow the raw AP you have, and her W as well was nerfed a little bit. So lost some utility, but she's basically just been locked in now to once again do this double damage threat in the late game Fnatic likes to run, where it's all about xPeke and Rekkles doing the damage. And there's so much protection and even engage potential with the Rengar. You have the ball from Orianna, you follow up with the tidal wave from Nami. There's a lot of options here for Fnatic to start the fights. And Rocket once again now, we have seen Xaxus play this LStar where he builds Static Shift and Trinity Force and focus on like split pushing. Then you have Overpow in the opposite lane, and of course Celaver sitting in the mid lane. We've seen this 1-3-1 a few times today already. But it's not been working out for Rocket. Every time they didn't pick a comp which was better in teamfights than Fnatic's, they lost. So they really need to make sure this time around they don't take some of these stupid fights in the early game and fall behind. Overpow needs to play the game of his life on this Fizz here, because he has to get ahead if he wants to become a split pushing threat and if he wants to be able to assassinate Rekkles when there is shield from Orianna, shield from Lulu, potentially a Quicksilver Slash anyway built by Rekkles himself, and the heal come in from a Nami. I mean, you need to be one big fat Fizz if you're going to break through all those shields to win team fights.
And he's up against xPeke on Orianna, which, as I said before, records have been broken with that combo. But guys, we want to know if this final game is going to swing your votes at all. Tweet hashtag FNC win or hashtag ROC win to @LOLEsports, and we'll see who you guys think are going to be headed to the finals and guaranteed a spot. The first team here in Europe that will qualify for the 2014 World Championships. I have to say, looking at the lineups here, I feel like Fnatic has an edge on that front. I think also that they have a experience edge when it comes to being in these super high pressure situations. I also have to say though, Rocket have already shown us here that they can beat Fnatic.
Oh, 100%, for sure. Rocket has really shown up today here. And again, this was the team who ended number 6 in the standings. A lot of people were like, Rocket, they've been underperforming the split here. They've basically just been saving it for the playoffs here. And we know they are a team who can really prepare for best out of 5 and always manage to show up.
So, are we going to be seeing anything early on? Very keen to see how Cyanide plays this one as well. I think we don't have to even talk about Peke on Orianna in the mid lane. That's a very standard champion on a player that loves these kind and was always farmed so incredibly well. Broke records with Orianna against Overpow. I know I keep harping on about that, but you said it yourself. You know, Fizz is not an easy lane anyway, up against someone who's very strong in the laning phase in the form of Orianna. I have to feel that Jankos might be a big part of this game, as he is in every single game for Rocket.
Jankos will have some early pressure advantage here compared to Cyanide, where you normally see Rengar want to farm to level 6 before he really starts joining in for the ganks here. So Jankos does have a few minutes in the start where he can try and set up some ganks. Will of course require to be standard lanes. If it's going to be one-on-one in the top lane, then sOAZ should be able to dominate it on Lulu here. We saw the matchup yesterday between Subaru and Millennium, where YellOwStaR was pretty much shut down in the laning phase, fell very far behind, lost his tower. Fnatic can look to do the same here if they do get standard lanes. It seems for now, Fnatic, oh sorry, Rocket is looking towards
why not
the jungle here.
Cow at level 1.
Yeah, you got the hook as well from VandeR.
And
check the flag from Jankos.
xPeke gonna be spotted. Xaxus not actually skilled anything yet as well, which wise from my view. We are going to see them starting off the red buff. Thank you very much, YellOwStaR, for getting rid of the aggro there for a while, and it's smited away. So Jankos takes the first buff, and I'm assuming that Cyanide is just going to cross straight over on that top side of the map. We already see him done the blue, and is going to go straight over the other side and take the red. So we should just see a standard trade.
But look up here in the top lane. Xaxus, because he was helping, killing the red buff, just lost a lot of minions. Will fall behind in XP. It's something they see a few times. It always means the favor goes heavily, or the lane goes heavily in favor because of the guy getting the early level 2. Not really rocket science. And he can then, sOAZ can now sit and push it down towards the tower, which he will be doing for pretty much the entire laning phase long. YellOwStaR doesn't really have anything he can do against him. And now forced to just sit and farm under the tower.
And there is Peke already harassing Overpow. Obviously it was a crystalline flash start here for Overpow. Knew that he was going to be constantly harassed in these early stages, and his job basically is to not die and to stay as level as humanly possible to this Orianna. And we'll see how that one all starts to develop. Of course, it leaves us also with that 2v2 in the bottom lane. Fnatic again getting hold of a Kog'Maw Nami lane up against Tristana and Thresh here. So going to be some big Thresh plays or not, obviously depending on how that one goes, and obviously that's going to affect the outcome of this 5th and final game. Jarvan is coming towards the mid lane. Rengar is coming towards the top lane. There's a flash away from the boulder strike. However, Overpow dives towards Peke. He backs away as well. So if we look down summoner spells, Alistar burnt his flash. Doesn't have a TP to come back to that lane anyway. That was used earlier because he was late. Peke did also flash in the mid lane though.
Trading flashes here, 2 ganks from the junglers, different lanes, and it's actually been the trend today. We haven't seen a lot of counter ganking. It's always been like Jankos and Cyanide picking different lanes to want to gank at a different time, and often forcing the summoners here. Down his bottom lane, Tristana and Thresh should be able to do pretty well in the laning phase, even against an army, especially also because of the early damage from Tristana. And they don't pick Morgana, so it must be because they want the Thresh for the lane and the big play potential. Oh, sOAZ, you're in trouble.
And I think a wise move there as well from Jankos. Come in, know that your cow's got no TP and no flash. Come in and make sure that sOAZ gets low, uses his flash, and maybe has to use TP then to come back out into the lane. But now though, this mid lane continues to be as was. Although I say that, Overpower's 25 to 21 CS ahead because of the fact that they forced them away. They need to be really careful here. Cyanide coming around the side, but I think sOAZ is going to go down. First blood goes over to Jankos once again. Cyanide here is going to be able to get the kill back though onto Xaxus to trade 1-for-1. But again, Jankos, first blood master.
And look at all the farms sOAZ just lost right here. Yes, he can teleport back to the lane, but he lost 2-3 waves due to the fact he died. He's gonna rejoin. There's no teleport on Xaxus, however, so it should probably even itself out with the farm sOAZ just lost here. Both junglers picked up the kills. And in this mid lane here, because of the early gank from Jankos where they forced the TP, they're going again here.
And Peke's in real trouble from this one. The slide from Jarvan didn't knock him off, but it doesn't matter. Jankos gets his second.
And remember, the early pressure you can do as Jarvan against the Rengar, who's not as effective at ganking before level 6. Jankos is using it really well here. 2 ganks to mid lane, 2 ganks to the top lane, and now picked up 2 kills already.
Was so close on the bottom turret. Again, the hook landed from VandeR, but it was actually Rekkles that was doing all the damage to Celaver and forced him to rocket jump right out of there. But again, Jankos is going to come down. Rekkles will actually spot him pretty early this time around. YellOwStaR has just completely left Rekkles alone. He's only level 5 here though, doesn't have Cataclysm. Fizz coming in, also only level 5, so they had no ultimates to dive there.
So a lot of action here early on. Everything is just being set up by Jankos. He's in every single lane on his job in here. Sana should be getting his level 6 fairly soon, and we can see him do the same. However, he still needs his ulti every time he wants to pull up like the same kind of ganks, where Jankos can just keep doing it with his Q combo. Slightly behind in farm, but when you've picked up 2 kills already, you don't really care. And when you also have made sure your Fizz in this mid lane is having a good time, pick up the farm here, even out the CS, also slightly behind. But does have an assist to his name. And there's still no flash for xPeke on Orianna, so we might see Jankos come into the mid lane once again.
Oh, xAxus gonna get the pulverized down, headbutt him into tower range. Well, his aim was a little bit off there actually, should have been in tower range. Slow comes out from sOAZ, level 6, so Wild Growth was up. And really not too much danger there, but good harassment from xAxus at the very start. And here comes a possible dive, or possible counter jungle at least, as Jankos comes speeding in. Boost some ability from the start here for Jankos. Gonna get bowler striked up though, and sOAZ now coming in, and he has to slide off.
I actually really like their Moby pickup here from Jankos, because he's so active, constantly ganking the lanes. He doesn't really care about his own farm at this point. It's just all about helping his 2 side lanes, because Fnatic had very strong side lanes. If it had just been standard one-on-one, remove the jungler, Fnatic would have won the 2 side lanes.
Oh, Shockwave completely missing their Wild Growth coming onto Cyanide though. Overpow is low and had to flash away. Cyanide will then get into xAxus. He's already used the pulverize. Jankos will try and get the slow off the shield, but I think this is quick for xAxus. He's going to go down, and it is Peke that gets the kill there in that mid lane.
So 1 kill picked up here by Fnatic. Punish Rocket for invading on the blue buff. Down his bottom lane though, while it was very even in the start, Rekkles and YellOwStaR has been taking control of the lane. We didn't actually see many of the fights or the trades between each other. There must have been some good bubbles and then some very nice poke from Rekkles. We've just been pushing him into the tower here. This Nami has really been a good pickup, at least for the laning phase in this series.
Okay. Approaching 15 CS lead. He will be there by the time this wave goes down. Although, here comes Jankos once again, and Cataclysm for Flash will be traded.
And Cyanide actually popped his ult here, was ready to join. Expected though, instant flash out, and Jankos didn't want to chase him. So ulti down from Cyanide, ulti down from Jankos. Good guy Jankos, just follow each other here. Hook misses from VandeR. Once again, every time the hook misses, Rekkles gets the E from YellOwStaR and just walks forward and starts taking the trades with the dual lane here from Rocket and wins it. Definitely a good start from every single lane of Fnatic, but a great start from Jankos as well, who's just been active everywhere.
He's been a real star for ROC this season. When we're talking about ROC, and we always said they're not really a team that's got any big superstar name that you'd instantly say he is the superstar of that team. However, Jankos, I feel this year has really developed into that superstar with them, as the hook is going to land on YellOwStaR, but there is one person, Overpow, going to be coming down to the bottom as well. VandeR still alive. Here comes Overpow. Ulti goes in. This could be a wide one for ROC. xAxus is there as well. Rekkles goes down, and it's 2 kills for ROC.
Double teleport used here to pick up the kills. VandeR even stayed alive in the end. Might be looking towards the dragon here, even though VandeR is very, very low. Jankos going to join in. Gonna be the dragon now for Rocket. Picked up the kills as well. Instant double teleport. They saw his Sana down his bottom lane for the gank. He jumped in, and the teleport just started up in his top lane. sOAZ kept his own teleport. Will be pushing the tower, but it's a dragon for Rocket. Kills as well. Overpow picked up one of the kills. That's very, very important. xAxus got the other one. So all the right members actually getting the kills here. Maybe could give one to Celaver, but so the fight started. There's a ward in the bush here, so they know that Cyanide is there. It's pure bait from Rocket's dual lane. The fact they hook here and actually start a fight because they saw him on the ward and they're instantly teleport in. Fnatic is not able to react in time. Tower didn't even go down this top lane.
Good stuff here from ROC. A great start. 1,000 gold ahead almost. 4-2 up in kills. The thing that's different here this game, 10.5 minutes in, no turrets. Something that ROC have done consistently even in those games that they've lost today is take the earlier turrets. Let's have a look down some of the items then while we get a bit of a quiet time in this one. Celaver, again, rushing straight in towards that Infinity Edge. BF sword, pickaxe already there. The Trinity Force for Rekkles will be a little bit behind that though, I think, at this point. 2 assists over with Celaver. We'll see how that one all works out for him, but if we compare it to that last game, Celaver, He played it safe towards the end. There was that one time where he went ridiculously low, was saved by his teammates, but other than that, he played a perfect Tristana game.
I've said in every single game we had Tristana, I would still like to see Static Shift being the first item, especially because if you look at the side of Rocket again, he's the only wave clear. He's the only guy there to kill the waves. So if he doesn't get the Static Shift fairly fast after the Infinity Edge and Fnatic starts grouping up, they might be able to once again take some towers without any defense from Rocket. We saw it in the last game where Fnatic got the lead in the mid game because they took down some towers. There was no wave clear, no proper wave clear from Rocket, so we have to see. It's going to be a fairly early Infinity Edge for Celaver. They pick up the farm, they got of course the Dragon, 2 assists. Actually not even going to be that early, never mind what I just said. Mistakes were made.
Oh, well,
standard timing Infinity Edge.
Yeah. 30 CS behind, but look at this. It's almost a mirror of what we saw before. He's not actually got much mana yet. He's actually holding the minions away though. That's a problem for Rocket there because they would have to full-on dive without the minions at least letting them get closer to that tower. Peke is going to be recalling. Jankos still waiting around for Overpow to give him the go, and they see Peke is gone, you can leave.
He's going towards this top lane. Jankos is not done yet. More Cyanide jumping onto Overpow here.
Oh, this could be dangerous for Overpow. Actually, he's going to dive away there. Fish is going to come out. Cyanide gets knocked up. Overpow doesn't want to fight it, but they're diving on towards sOAZ. He's trapped inside Cataclysm, knocked around by the cow.
Look who's going.
Finish it up. Here comes Fizz, and this is another kill. The tank is being, the turret is being tanked up by Jankos. He went down to half. xAxus was at half. Really well done, and full opportunistic by Overpow, who was being chased by Peke and Cyanide, manages to somehow get a kill in the top lane.
Just ran from the mid lane up to the top lane here. Who goes to YellOwStaR with the beer trade?
And they get in, tidal wave goes down, Box is already in position from VandeR, he's exhausted up. YellOwStaR needs to be a little careful there, he was actually fairly low. In the end, they're able to back away. Again, Celaver not using flash. On the other side, the exhaust went straight down from YellOwStaR, so this bottom lane been a real action zone so far.
I don't actually think the poor Overpow got even an assist up in his top lane. Jankos picked up the kill. Overpow is still sitting on 2 assists here, so he ran out there, but he was avoiding the gank anyway, so it's not like he wasted a lot of time by running to the top lane. Just sadly for Rocket, didn't manage to pick up the kill, which would have been perfect for them. Really good start here, a lot of aggressive plays. Punish the Rengar jungle, while the fact Jankos was so active. Also punish the fact that Fnatic was so aggressive in the lanes, so it opened up for Jankos to come in and gank them, force the flashes, and then gank them again the second time where he could then pick up the kills. Choppy again.
Yeah, xAxus just missed his combo though. That would have been the perfect chance, but there is a combo from Jankos. Where are you going, sOAZ? You're going nowhere. xAxus gets the kill. That's the second for the cow. And they are camping sOAZ like there's no tomorrow. 0-3-2 for sOAZ. I mean, he's still 30 CS ahead, funnily enough, for the cow, but he's giving up kills left and right.
Yeah. But again, it's what we talk about. Their standard lane matchup is definitely in favor of Fnatic all around here. But because Jankos is so damn active and just constantly finding kills in every single gank he makes, means they can now get a tower, they can get the goal lead again. And Cyanide, he's down this bottom lane now. He wants to try and set up a gank.
Oh, they have to finish off. There he is, the dive on towards Celaver. Flay comes in, I'm not sure it's enough though. Boulder strike lands, Bubble comes in, and Rekkles will get that one. Good hook from VandeR actually onto Cyanide. The rest of the team have actually joined in. Double the fish totally misses though, and I think ROC have to back away from it. sOAZ is there. There is the lantern taken behind the turret. Looked like they wanted to dive that one, but the CC missed out. And well, a good reaction this time around from Fnatic. The last double TP ended in a bit of disaster for them. That means they're going to try and push this turret back.
Yeah, this time around, sOAZ instantly TP'd as well to join in here. 4 members from Fnatic. Oh, YellOwStaR
comboed up, but he's got no turret aggro, which means he can just flash on out of it. Meanwhile, Peke did start to come down, but he actually went back, and I think he might be doing a lot of damage while he goes. Okay, not masses, but oh! Wow, Jankos going super aggressive there. Cataclysm, not quite in turret range there either.
He tried to catch him under the tower here, but xPeke just stepped out of tower range. Took the trade with Jankos, forced his flash now, ulted down as well. Dragon just spawned here, so Jankos tried to be the hero and kill xPeke so they could maybe stop a dragon. Now he just ended up using his ulti and his flash, and with the remaining members from Rocket also being back in base, no chance for Rocket to actually fight for this one.
Smite for Cyanide will seal that deal. And it is almost a level game, about 300 gold separates the two teams. Fnatic, even though they would fall in behind in a couple of kills there, the fact that they're farming so well, especially that obviously top lane and the mid lane. xPeke is 60 CS above Overpow now. 168 CS, 16 minutes in. Don't think he's quite on course to beat a record this time.
No, but it's only going to get better and better for xPeke farm-wise, because he's now hit the point where he can constantly keep farming the jungle as well. So if Cyanide is ganking a lane, well, the Ref camp, the Wolf camp, they can just take it, go back to the lane, push it out as well. Nice play by Celaver down here, picking up a tower. So more for Rocket. So we had a lot of kills in the start. Nobody actually killed the towers. Started to do it now. Top tower gone from Fnatic, bottom lane tower gone as well. While the bot tower for Rocket is gone here. So it's time to see towers go down. A lot of fighting early on, aggressive teleports, especially to the bottom lane. And of course, Jankos just been going completely crazy and ganking every single lane. Mainly the top lane.
I was gonna say, every single lane, but mainly the top lane like 3, 4, 5 times. And it's paid off for him. I mean, if you know that you're gonna get a kill somewhere, you definitely go. Fnatic here though are pushing quickly towards that mid tower.
Exactly what we talked about earlier here. If Fnatic decides to group fairly early on, the wave clear from Rocket now consists of Fizz jumping in, kill the wave, and then put himself in a very dangerous situation. So Fnatic just started grouping, didn't actually kill the tower because everyone from Rocket really reacted very fast, and Fnatic didn't want to get flanked, so just had to back away here. But it could almost take out the tower. Next time they do it, there's no static shift on Celaver. There's not a lot of fast wave clear from Rocket, and they're just gonna have to engage. Now your top tower is gone.
Yeah, that one is gone. Nothing that Xaxus could do to get in there. They're just waiting once again in middle, expecting xPeke to actually start pushing up somewhat, but that doesn't happen for them. xPeke will back off, who, by the way, on his last buy, finished off his Athenes, finished off Sorcerer Shoes, and picked up needlessly large rod. So he obviously saved up quite the chunk of gold, and as you mentioned, at that point where a couple of quick movements of the ball and the entire wave is gone, and holds on to that 60 CS lead as well. We also saw Rekkles getting his Trinity Force done. Blasting one on top of the Athenes for sOAZ. He actually went for that triple Doran ring start that we actually saw him do a lot when he played Lulu this year.
Yeah, always went like a full lane dominance early on, and then he started building items after he had the triple Dorans. He has already actually sold one of them. So,
what a rocker.
And you don't have any wave clear, by the way, so...
There's no one there. They literally,
well, that's your wave
no
clear,
one there. Yeah, that is your wave clear. Manages to get down 2 of them. Ball going into the back. Shockwave and a bubble onto VandeR. Have they got the damage to finish? I don't think so. Too far out of range. And how are you going to hold on to these towers now when you can't even step up to them? xPeke going to keep his ball just at the backside of them. YellOwStaR already showed us that he's landing these max range bubbles that can zone you completely away. Jankos might have to just go incredibly manly. Yeah, Rekkles is free at the back. No one can get to him, and that is it. Inner turret goes down. ROC can't defend.
No early static shift for Celaver. No other proper wave clear. They just lost 2 towers now. They couldn't engage because VandeR was back in base, which is normally their defense, where they just, okay, we have the army, we have YellOwStaR, let's just go for an engage, catch someone out of position, or not even, like, knock one squishy member up, and then Overpow can jump them and try and kill them. But just no wave clear. I don't know. Celaver has decided to get his 24s, even though there hasn't actually been any big team fights either. And without knowing the numbers, you might actually get more straight up damage in a team fight by having like static shift and, let's say, a pickaxe compared to have the Infinity Edge completed so early. The static shift, of course, is a lot cheaper than fully completing your Infinity Edge, just to also get the extra attack speed. But well, Rocket paying the price here. Lost 2 towers. Overpow starting his split push adventures. He's going towards his DFG once again. And Fnatic is slightly ahead in gold at the moment. Have a very, very strong late game here, but both their top laners will be more utility based in the late game. You have their insane tank in YellOwStaR as long as his ulti is off and all the CC he brings. You have the shield, you have the utility from their Lulu in the late game, they chase potential as well. And then it's all about Overpow and Celaver against xPeke and Rekkles.
Oh, this could be really dangerous. Well, it was less dangerous than I thought. They threw the pink ward over the top, cleared out the vision, and Jarvan walked away from it. So, Dragon, less than a minute's time, that one's going to be coming up. Of course, Fnatic did pick up the last one after Jankos went all in on Peke in the mid lane, used his ultimate, went low, and then, well, they just couldn't fight for that Dragon whatsoever. This time around, ROC have got a few wards down on that side of the map, so we'll see how well they can hold on to it. And Fnatic, in timely fashion, just arriving, and they're probably just going to spend a little bit of time here clearing that one out. There's the pink removed straight away. Be able to scan out on that death brush as well. ROC, all 5 men down there. xAxus has teleport, but he's already pushed that top wave out completely. sOAZ also has teleport, so he can join. Overpow's on the bottom side, and there is the TP. sOAZ coming down to the tower. So he's going to get there a little bit earlier on rather than coming in onto a ward.
This is also Fnatic just
Very
saying,
tense moment here.
Yeah, it actually is. Everyone just moving in and out of this river area here around the Dragon. But it's also just Fnatic saying we want to move into the river now, get control. Overpow actually gonna... Did he just teleport to the pink ward pair? Well, teleport down from Overpow. He is part of the fight anyway. Fnatic has just moved in all 5 members. Play some wards. Got a good pink ward here at the small bush. True. That all the wards around it. There is a ward from Rocket, however, at the Dragon.
Oh.
Or just around the edge here, sorry. And up in the bush too. Fnatic playing all the wards. But early TP from sOAZ simply to move in the river and get control. Oh. Look at Overpow now.
Yeah, Overpow is miles away at this stage. He's probably faster to hit his recall button, try and get back, because Fnatic have pushed straight up this middle lane, and they're going to have a good amount of damage onto this tower. Finally, ROC are able to get back around. Will they try and head them off here in the jungle? Overpow starts to move in. They've got no real vision of that area, so they're almost fighting blind. And oh, no face check there. I thought Overpow was going to go into that one. Cyanide altered up. Let's see if he can do anything. No, he's probably going to run out of stealth by the time he gets anywhere close. And a tense moment, just jockeying for position on the map. It's Fnatic that then move back towards the Dragon. We'll clear out the pink ward, but there's still one there. In fact, there's a lot of wards there from ROC that will stop Fnatic doing the Dragon in peace. And actually, YellOwStaR is recalling, so he wants to stock back up before they start to attempt this.
Fnatic is slightly stronger though at this moment, especially due to the Trinity Force on Rekkles compared to Vintage on Celaver and Tristana being pretty weak in the mid game, as we always talk about, and also Overpow. Pretty much like their last 2 games. When he doesn't have their Hourglass, it is very hard for him to join the fights because he's an easy target for Fnatic to kill. So they should have the stronger comp here for this Dragon fight. It's not go horribly wrong if they do misplay it. And then Rocket can just completely snowball it, which is one of the reasons Fnatic is playing it very safe. Now, Xaxus in the top lane, they want to force the teleport. The rest of the members from Rocket is running it. Overpow, remember, he used the teleport earlier. He's not ready now. This Dragon is gone. And Jankos going in onto Rekkles.
Oh, flash instantly from that one though. xAxus TP'd down and the Dragon had already gone. ROC just simply too late for that one. They went back, got themselves a couple of items. Probably felt, pressing xPeke were a little bit weak for this fight. Fnatic have backed away. Let's try and squeeze in one more shot before we come in and have that fight. In the end, it's too late, and Fnatic didn't want the fight at all, it seemed. They take the Dragon, they run away. They hold now a 3,000 gold lead.
To be honest, it might actually have been in favor of Rocket that it didn't pay off. And they didn't get this big 5 versus 5 team fight because xPeke as well had death cap completed already, where Overpow on the other side didn't have his DFG completed yet, didn't have the Hourglass completed yet, so he would have been a lot weaker as well compared to xPeke. And let's see what Overpow can do up here. There's an Athenes on sOAZ, so does have some magic resist.
This is super dangerous for Overpow. He's going to throw the fish, he'll only hit YellOwStaR. Cyanide going to jump on top with a good tidal wave as well. sOAZ now starting to move in the wild growth, only really knocking up Xaxus there. He's going to try and get some nice three-man shockwave though, comes piling down, and Peke picks up a double kill. Fnatic can just back away and take Baron now.
such a nice shockwave here. Fnatic were chasing the kills. We had the Lantern from VandeR, and then xPeke just puts the ball. As soon as Xaxus clicked the Lantern, he pops the shockwave and just pulls him back in. Even kills Overpow as well. And onto this Baron here. Can Jankos steal it? He does have Smite and Flash. But Cyanide is the Smite master.
Well, so far this game, Jankos has been the shining light for ROC. Can he get in? There's another hook into the pit. Rekkles is still having a go at the Baron. What are they going to do with it? Fnatic have actually decided, no, we don't want this fight. We can't have this fight. Overpow coming through, and they're going to give a lot up here if they're not careful. I was going to say they can't all just recall and leave this mid lane. In the end, it's just sOAZ that leaves it. And Rekkles and Peke's presence is enough to actually force them away. Yeah. sOAZ also TPing in.
So it was such a nice chase. And then Fnatic went for the Baron. They didn't want to finish it because they were afraid of Jankos, the potential steal. As most junglers will say, in this situation here, it would have been like a 50-50 on the Smite.
Yeah.
And didn't want to take the chance, so moved away from it. Okay, let's see it again. Onto Overpow first. YellOwStaR lands the first auto attack, and then it's a tidal wave. Cyanide jumping in, gets 2 roots onto Overpow actually. And then now, it's all about the Lantern. Flicks it, and look at his shockwave.
Boom.
So beautiful.
And, you know, Peke has proved time and time again that Orianna is one of his best. Void Staff now added on top of his Death Cap, and Athene's. That last recall from sOAZ also was kind of in the heat of the moment, wondering if they maybe lose a tower. They didn't. And sOAZ TP back into lane with a Death Cap of his own now done. It's a Blade of the Rune King for Rekkles. So overall, Fnatic just getting another couple of items which may make them feel very comfortable headed off towards the Baron again.
Right now, Fnatic don't actually need to bait the Baron. They could look to just go and straight up push towers because Static Shift is not completely up for Celaver. I'm not sure if he can get it when he actually recalls now, but he's not completed, so they still don't have any wave clear. You have Rekkles being insanely strong, you have xPeke being insanely strong. Just move up to the towers here, force Rocket to actually engage onto you. Static Shift was actually completed now, so do have some wave clear, but still, just push up the lanes now, push up the towers, group as a unit, and force Rocket to engage onto you. Overpow, is he jumping towards you? Well, he has no hourglass. Kill him in.
Not a DFG, so you've got to be quick about killing him, otherwise he is going to blow someone up. Be aiming for Rekkles, maybe even Peke there.
They still do want to set up this Baron.
Yeah.
Which of course is the other option they have. But then there's always the potential steal.
Yeah.
Or maybe even their bait kind of backfiring and all of a sudden it's Rocket who finds you out of position and gets a kill and they can take the Baron here.
Oh, hook coming through, actually getting onto YellOwStaR. No follow-up, there wasn't really anyone there. Alistair was on the top side, Overpow was still in that middle lane. Actually, I think he just went off to get blue. Yes, he is. Not blue up on. So what's the plan from Fnatic? Whoa, Cyanide going very, very deep here. Box comes down from VandeR. Well, they want the fight and they're going to get one kill. Cyanide literally takes no damage there from the ultimate hour of Overpow because of all those shields. And now look at this. Wave is pushing on the top lane. They want this inner turret.
Yeah, so now they're going for the towers here. VandeR is dead. Overpow is sitting in the mid lane, gonna push it out, try and trade it for the mid tower, for the top tower here. Celaver, he won't be there in time to play it. Remember, he needs to actually stand at the tower when the minions arrive for the Static Shift to work and for his explosive shot to actually work. Otherwise, the mini wave will stay alive and it's gonna die. You have Lulu, you have range on Rekkles, you have range on Peke, you have range on sOAZ, and you have the disengage potential both Orianna and Lulu. Such a strong siege comp and teamfight comp from Fnatic, which has been the golden winner, if that's even a phrase or word.
It is now.
It is now the golden winner the last few weeks. Teamfight comes all the way.
I'll take back away from this one again, knowing that only one inner turret is left standing. They're actually sat on pretty much all of them over about 1,100-1,200 gold. That's only going to grow here because Dragon did spawn. And there's a massive wave in the bottom lane as well that's built up on the tower, which sOAZ will no doubt be very, very happy for. Peke, by the way, has a 300 CS, 30 minutes, so not quite on his record from before, but still, nonetheless.
Notice while Fnatic was doing the Dragon, We had VandeR move in, place a lot of wards around the Baron here, so even if Fnatic gets a pink ward or 2 pink wards in there, might not be able to clear all the wards, and Rocket can keep some control around it and see if the Baron is being started. Instead of a potential kill from Jankos, or maybe an engage from Rocket here, but they've been forced to just sit back and wait for Fnatic to make the move for the last few minutes. And every time Fnatic has actually grouped up and moved towards the tower, they've been able to kill it. Every single time. Got the Dragon as well, extending the gold lead. Might just go back and try and set up the Baron. Or they can just group again. 5, go down towards, go up towards the base. Look for the towers here. Get some wards on the side so you can spot Overpow if he's trying to flank around you. And just be ready to disengage if you feel like you're in a bad position.
Is this the cautious Fnatic though that could cause them a couple of problems the later that things go on? I mean, Tristana's only getting scarier.
They said for Rekkles though. But
that
yes,
is true.
I agree.
That is true. He's got that Zeal in there now. Overpow headed down towards bottom. Actually, he's got the cowl with him as well. So these two might try something. And look at Fnatic, they're just pushing straight in, but don't forget it's a double TP comp here out of ROC, so both of them can come straight back towards this mid tower. They need to get a move on though, because the turret is going down pretty quickly. They have already recalled in there. And Fnatic taking a bit of damage while they do so, but get a few hits onto the inhib turrets.
Quite some damage, tanking it up here. Forced to recall though from both Xaxus and Overpow, but didn't get a teleport, which was the main goal here for Fnatic. Because if teleport is down for both Xaxus and Overpow, then Rocket is forced to sit 5 members as well, and then they will be in a disadvantage compared to Fnatic. So they tried to force the teleports, it didn't work. The recall instead, and now Rocket responding, getting a tower. Jankos looking to engage as well.
Yeah, might even be 2 towers here. Overpow gonna go into xPeke. DFG is down. Oh, there's a shockwave though. And xPeke is actually gonna take it with him. sOAZ though is caught. He's all alone behind the tower. Surely will be finished up. There is the exhaust onto Celaver to stop things happening. Cyanide, meanwhile, is having a go on Jankos. And this is a messy, messy fight. Rekkles finishes off Celaver. And Xaxus now has to walk away. In the end, it's a 2 for 2. Mid laner and top laner from Fnatic going down. Rocket losing their AD carry and mid laner as well. And Fnatic are pinging like crazy.
Go mid, yeah. Just go mid, go push the tower mid lane now. The 2 damage dealers from Rocket are dead for another 15 seconds. Just push down the mid lane here. Maybe they can even get a tower. Only 2 members they won't really be able to, because there's going to be a big fat cow in their face. So just to push the instant here, also with Cyanide.
Well, they just spotted Alistar, I think they're off to the side. Xaxus trying to run in there pretty quick. All that extra movement. Oh, look at this Overpow coming around the side. Hello, where's he going? He's going for YellOwStaR here. Out of the 2, the fish will knock the other fish in the air. And YellOwStaR eventually will go down.
Where's Cyanide here? He's actually fighting against Jankos, so he's out of position too.
Yeah, and that's bad news. Oh, no, the team coming around. Rocket weren't ready for that one, and Rekkles gets himself one along with sOAZ. This is really bad because they lose Overpow again, and they lose the
now
cow.
It must be the mid lane going down. Fnatic a few times now been looking at this mid lane, not been able to kill the last inhibitor turret to get in and get inhibitor as well, but now 4 members. So they couldn't actually push up the mid lane faster than they did before here. Cyanide was chasing around, but it didn't really matter. They couldn't push it in time. Instead, teleport behind from Overpow. Still no hourglass. He wants to get the DFG as the second item, so every time he jumps in, Fnatic kills him. Every single time. So end up getting 2 kills, and now they got the mid inhibitor. So now you can go Baron.
Where does that leave us then? 35 minutes in. It's 10-9 in kills here. Ridiculously close, but the gold has grown. We're approaching the 10,000 gold mark again for Fnatic. That means after that push, they're going to go with quite the chunk to spend as well. 2 grand on sOAZ, 2,500 gold for Rekkles to actually spend. If you look down on the other side, Last Whisper, Static Shiv, Infinity Edge. Rekkles doesn't seem to want to recall just yet and show us exactly where he's going to go in terms of his build. YellOwStaR clears out the Baron as well. Come on, Rekkles, shop up. Phantom Dancer for him.
I think I got a little bit too excited though before about this mid lane going down. I'm not even sure what I was calling for Fnatic to push up only 3 members and then TP behind them. Don't listen to my calls, guys. It will get you killed. Or it will bait Rocket into actually dying. Well, yeah, then you take the mid lane.
Exactly, that's kind of what happened. They pushed for it, ran away, got the respawns, and then caught Rocket out with that anyway. So worked out in Fnatic's favor. And they're still trying to set up the traps. But Rocket have proved time and time again, they don't often fall for these traps.
No, they've done the research. Don't worry, still just going in to place a ward or flag in the Baron pit. We need to get a ward down from Jankos. He doesn't actually have one, so we need VandeR to go in and place a ward. Fnatic now, again, kind of realizing, okay, they're not really falling for the bait. Let's just try something else. So Cyanide actually popped his ulti, jumped onto Celaver, had to use his ulti to shoot him away, stayed alive, and now Fnatic going back towards the Baron here. Top lane is gonna push as well. Same goes for the bottom lane. They've got a big wave here from Fnatic down this bottom side. So if they keep Rocket now around this Baron, they're gonna have the two side lanes pushing up. Once Rekkles actually goes up there, pushes back. And then someone is gonna have to react. There is a teleport on Xaxus, so he can go bottom lane, defend it. Also keep in mind, there is the threat of Fnatic just starting the Baron with only like Cyanide and Rekkles. Keep the rest of the members just to zone Rocket away. So they always have to respect it and get the wards down.
Oh, shockwave used there onto Jankos. Wild Growth gets a knockup, but that's two big ultimates from Fnatic. Used onto Jankos. I think the idea behind that was get rid of the jungle as fast as you can, but sOAZ here going to get hit by the fish. The hook lands as well. Max Rain, Overpow gets that one. Cyanide right in the middle of them. Can't actually do all that much. He's been slowed down left and right. Will invisibly run down to the bottom side. Somehow got away. Oh no, here's Jankos. He spotted him going. Slides in there. He's got Cataclysm.
That might have just saved the Baron there.
Right.
Yeah, but that might just have saved the Baron for Fnatic. If he had died, with two members gone, the smite gone as well, we could have seen Rocket just instantly go towards Baron here. Nice little catch actually from Overpow. Because the two ultis was used by Fnatic before, Rocket felt like now we can take the fight. Got in there, got the first kill onto sOAZ, and then this time around Overpow actually stayed alive. Jankos doesn't seem like he's gone yet.
No, but there is a dragon, which means, you know, the decent gold lead that Fnatic have is probably going to be getting larger. Just a second, we see Void Staff now for sOAZ. Across the board, Cyanide has just gone complete tanky with this Rengar. When Madras raises for the start and just don't bother finishing it further. Get himself the Ramrins, get that Spirit Visage. There's also another neat large rod for xPeke, so all about spending the gold here. There's another 1,200 for Rekkles, almost 2,000 for Peke as well, so again, Fnatic going to be able to push their lead, and it's Zhonya's actually that is picked up by Peke.
If Rocket actually had any wards around this dragon here, they might have seen Fnatic and all 5 members to do it and then start recalling. Could potentially try to rush a Baron. Just didn't have any wards, so therefore they're just going to clear out all the ping wards we had before from Fnatic. They're going to have to go back and buy them again if they want to set up this Baron once again. But seems like they have actually realized Baron is not the way forward. Let's just instead go for this open inhibitor and potentially then the bot tower afterwards, because minions are still pushing up onto it. There's 2 members recon from Rocket. It should be a very easy inhibitor for Fnatic.
Not. No. You see how scared Fnatic are of this one.
Don't want to get flanked here, so just every time someone from Rocket shows themselves on the side, Fnatic instantly just backs away here.
Well, there we go, finally getting in. Jarvan gets close. Fnatic instinctively back away. Xaxus just went down to less than half HP, and there is the turret. And they are going to be going down bottom. In fact, Overpower's gone there to push the wave away from the tower. So with how scared Fnatic were going in there, I think it's actually quite wise of ROC to hang around there. Just maybe be able to do enough to scare them off. Let's see. Turret is getting obliterated by Rekkles. That's an easy one for Fnatic. That is turret number 7. And everything outside of the base.
Yeah, just keep doing it. You have super minions coming into the mid lane. Just stay in this bottom lane now. Place some wards on your left side so you can see the Xaxus or Overpow, either the TP or flank around you. And then you can always disengage if you feel like you're getting in a bad spot. Otherwise, you can get some hits on the tower every single time. And Rekkles just has to look out for the potential engage from Jarvan or the cow, which is reason for Fnatic not feeling confident enough to just push up to a tower because there's so much engaged on the side of Rocket here. But they are still staying around.
Jankos trying to get in from the side and get rid of that pink ward. Actually took the lantern there into the base. Overpow is going to show himself in the mid lane. Getting rid of that wave. Is that going to be enough? US ward on the tower. Rekkles actually does get in there for a few hits, and it's more than a few hits. There comes Overpow going in towards Cyanide. Can they finish him off? Wild Growth will be used. Cyanide right in the middle of them as Jankos gone very deep. Shockwave will get to. Oh, Celaver! He gets caught out. He's still alive though. That's the important thing. Jankos will go down. This is going to be a second in him.
And this is exactly what Fnatic could have done early in the game as well. They have such a good siege comp, and as soon as we see the engage coming in from Rocket, everyone disengage. Ulti runs out from Xaxus and Overpow.
Wow.
Okay, that was pretty sick.
Yeah,
that was pretty sick.
That was an escape and a half from Overpow, but he's still going to go heal. VandeR will still go down, and there are still super minions pushing through this middle lane as well. Fnatic now in a 5 versus 3. Have only the 2 Nexus turrets and the Nexus to finish off to go through into a 4th consecutive LCS split final. There is the first Nexus turret. The fish on Cyanide won't do a whole lot. Second Nexus turret will just get tanked up here by the looks of things. sOAZ quite happy with his shield to do that. There is Rekkles hammering away. Doesn't quite get finished. And Fnatic are backing out.
Got Nexus turret down. Other one stayed alive, and Overpow still looking to chase here. Same goes with Xaxus. Can't really catch Fnatic. So 2 inhibitors gone now. Top lane tower, taking quite a beating as well. And Rocket might be in the situation where they just have to try and all in for Baron. Otherwise, Fnatic can pick it up, and there is the all in for the Baron.
Honestly, they've not really got a lot to lose at this point.
They just have to try. So it's gonna teleport to the tower. Gonna run in there. The rest of Fnatic is still around. Rekkles is out of mana. xPeke down to 50%. This is all or nothing for Rocket now.
Let's see. Their base is slowly but surely being pushed. The Baron is pretty low. Xaxus actually going offensive there onto xPeke. Shockwave at the back though. Celaver goes low. There is Jankos. They get the 2 kills. Make that 3. So double for YellOwStaR. And now they can simply back away to finish off the game and seal their spot at Worlds. We can see that Overpow is stood still down there in the jungle. There's a recall going on for VandeR.
They know it's over.
And that is basically the acknowledgement of coming so close here to Fnatic, yet so far somehow as well. They have to play that best of 3 for the final spot tomorrow, so best of 5 for that final spot tomorrow. But Fnatic will be the first European team to book their place at Worlds. Wasn't an easy win. We have to say that.
No. Full credit to Rocket here. They really showed up today. Some great games. Every time they played Fist, however, it didn't work out for them.
Not the strongest of picks, but see there the handshakes, and for me, Rocket can be very proud coming into the LCS at the start of this season, managing a 3rd place in the first split. They pushed Fnatic, who, by the way, are going to another split finals. It's 4 splits the dream for them. And right now, Rocket have just pushed them into 5 games, and I think with a couple of changes, they could have very well beat them in this one.
I'm not sure if Overpow really just wanted to try and carry on the Fist here, but let's not talk too much about the picks. We have to talk about the fact that Rocket tomorrow still has a chance of making it to Worlds, where they will be playing for the 3rd place. We don't know who's going to be the opponent yet. Alliance and SK Gaming are going to play. The loser will face Rocket, and the winner of that match will still go to Worlds.
That is the game, I think. Obviously, the grand final is an amazing spectacle for Fnatic as well. I mean, if they can win 4 splits in a row, that is just a complete domination of a region that we've, honestly, have we ever really seen that over 2 full seasons, winning all the splits. I mean, they've not done it just yet, but they've taken a great step towards it, going through to that final tomorrow. But more importantly, Fnatic are going to be representing Europe at Worlds. If you look at it coming into this split, where everyone, of course, was talking about what 3 teams are going to Worlds, Fnatic and Alliance were the big 2 names in there. I think a lot of people were looking at SK Gaming for that 3rd spot. A lot of people now have got to be looking at ROC as well.
100%. I mean, okay, we haven't seen SK and Alliance play each other. We're just looking at this best out of 5 here. ROC, they came to play, they showed up, but there was a lot of mistakes between the teams here, back and forth. When they go back and rewatch the games, they're going to spot a lot of mistakes, which they can then fix for tomorrow, and they can look at a big picture and say, okay, maybe it was nerfs as well. We don't know. I mean, you're playing for the chance, you're playing basically for going to Worlds here. I mean, win, you go to Worlds, lose, and you have to play another match for it. So, of course, there's a lot of nerves involved. We have a lot of people in the crowd at Gamescom. Could have been a big factor, but bottom of the line is, whenever Rocket did actually play their pick comps, they didn't manage to pick up any wins. And it was a lot about these teamfight comps, especially for Fnatic.
And for me, teamfights and ROC are somehow together. This is a team that themselves say, we've got no superstar. We're a team built of friendship and synergy almost, and that's what really works for them. Maybe that's the style that they should really be playing to be successful. Of course, they are going to mull things over before they fight for the 3rd spot at Worlds tomorrow. But for now, we're going to head over to Xaxus, who is standing by with 2 of Fnatic's winners.
Thank you very much, Joe. I'm joined here with xPeke and YellOwStaR after those 5 exciting matches. First off, congratulations, the first European team to qualify for Worlds. That was very close. Bora, what were the first things going through your mind? Because it was still very close there at the very end.
Phew. Well, I expect them to be good, and they were really good, especially in lane swaps. Like, they did what they had to do. They were like mind gaming, and in the early game, we watched a lot, we studied a lot, because they are known as really good level 1. And, I find some random words level 1, and I was really happy because my sweat pays off, And yeah, I'm really happy that we won and we qualified.
Peke, taking it all the way back to game 1, you guys come in here, you're probably very nervous, and then game 1 happens. Tell us what went through the team afterwards. I was watching your player cams actually backstage, and that didn't look good.
Well, game 1, we had, I think we had a good pick and ban phase, but the problem was mostly with the first Drake we called to go for. After that, they caught us, they got Drake, and we were not that ahead, but we were a bit ahead. And especially for me, after that, I felt like we were really ahead. So I kept trying. I started playing bad, and I got hooked 2 times, I think, more. And in this next Drake, we completely lost the game. So it was a bit. I felt like we were better, because after the game, you think, okay, we were 7k behind, and we were still winning fights until we grid. So next game, even if we're behind, let's just play the game and never grid, because even if they are ahead, we can still come back.
So yeah, then actually 2 games in a row, the Fnatic that we see when you guys are on fire, and then you go into that 4th game, and you decide to go for kind of a protective Vayne comp, a totally different style that didn't pay out. Talk us why you went for that comp then.
Casa win? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, Irelia, they waited at 3 top to mind gamers, because Irelia has TP, so she can go instantly bot. We didn't expect that at all, but overall we were ahead. We had really good team fights. We caught up, but yeah, we gridded a lot at the bot lane, and we got caught by Casadin, and they had so many things to catch us.
So then you guys go into game 5, if you weren't nervous enough, and Rocket is actually playing really well. Did you get nightmares to 2 years ago here on this stage? Versus Moscow 5 first, and then versus CLG. I don't want to bring back the bad memories.
No, it was not the same. I think versus Moscow 5, we knew if we won, it was like a miracle. But this, it was like, it was so weird. Like the games, we felt like we were better. We felt like we should win them. But every 10 minutes, we were doing something super risky, because in every game, I think every 10 minutes, we were doing something that I was saying, oh, yeah, we are losing it here. Every time, and then it worked out, or they don't pressure enough, but it was so scary. But I still felt like we were better. Maybe just a bit nervous or trying too much, maybe.
You talk about taking risks. Tell us about your acting performance, pretending to hit the Baron, but not really hitting it 2 times.
That's the only way they say. We tried to bait it for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and they were always really scared. Like we could have actually done it many times, I think, but they were so scared that at some point they said, let's bait it. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna throw Qs there. because if they see me throwing Qs, for sure someone's gonna come, and it worked out both times actually, pretty good.
Yeah, it did. But the bottom line here, you guys made it to Worlds, a YellOwStaR, 4th consecutive World Championship for you. What's your secret?
Keep playing, keep improving, having the right mindset. Like, okay, I want to improve, and I can do it if I have the talent or be good enough. And having a good atmosphere in the team, like good friends, so we can discuss about everything, not get mad at each other when we're losing. I think this is a good team spirit. Yeah, I'm really ambitious.
Yeah, really ambitious. You guys have to be. You're going to Worlds. Last year's semifinals. Tell us how ambitious you are really realistically going into this one.
Well, we are really ambitious. I think the dream of every one of us is to win it, obviously, but it's going to be super hard. The competition there is going to be really, really hard. Like here, we had hard competition, and I think all those other teams are going to be like a small step ahead, all of them, and some of them are going to be really, really strong. So I think from now on, we will take it into just go practice as hard as we can and focus in group stage first. If we get out of group stage, then focus on the next game and go game by game to see where we can go.
All right, finally, you can both say something to your fans who stick by you, and you have given a heart attack in this best of 5 series.
Yeah, that's why we train them during the LCS split, like it goes like a roller coaster, but yeah, overall we're super thankful for all of them cheering for us, and yeah, thanks.
XPeke.
Yeah, well, it was really, really tough game. I don't know, I'm pretty sure the fans there were like dying and saying, okay, Fnatic curse, they cannot qualify H1 season. But it worked out, because Bora qualified with the same team twice, and we qualified on a pair season. So, I don't know, thank you for the fans, and I hope you are happy about this.
You broke the curse. Well, congratulations, you guys, and we'll see you in the final, of course, on Sunday, and we'll see you at World. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to head back over to the desk for an update on the playoffs.
Thank you very much, Shock. So after Fnatic's win, they will face the winner of our next match between Alliance and SK Gaming in the European LCS Semifinals on Sunday. And ROC will take on the loser of the next series on Saturday in a battle for 3rd place, along with the final spot at Worlds.
Yeah, and now Alliance versus SK Gaming. What do you think, Joe, here? Alliance has been the #1 team, if you look at the entire split, to be honest. But SK Gaming has also really shown they can step up in these playoffs here. They 3-0'd Millennium, wasn't even close. They actually stomped every single game. And I've been talking with some of the teams, and they all say SK Gaming has been looking very, very scary in scrims. So we might be in for another best out of 5, going all 5 games. Well, we can certainly hope so, and we'll see what SK are going to do in just a moment. But first, at the start of the 2014 season, no one knew what to expect from Froggen's super team experiment. But now it looks like the faith in his plan and his teammates has been rewarded.
We're fine with you building a team the way you want to build it and stuff. If this all fails, you can pretty much all blame me. I always knew that the people I would pick for the team would have a lot of potential, and if we just could manage to work together and understand each other's gameplay, then we would eventually become a good team.
The start was pretty anticlimactic. Everyone thought we were gonna stomp the scene instantly.
At that point, we actually hadn't practiced much together. We had practiced together for like 1 or 2 weeks, I think.
We were losing, we were winning, we were losing. Like, we were so inconsistent. Like, I had my doubt.
I don't think he took extra pressure on himself because he believed in all of us. And if you believe enough, there's no reason to be pressured.
It took time for us to build up synergy and realize how we have to play with each other.
We tried to find our ground, and it took a while, but eventually it happened, and we showed up for the summer season.
They're just taking everything from SK. 12-0 in kills. Not a single reply from SK Gaming. And it's a 20-minute surrender, ladies and gentlemen.
Now it's time to reveal the European Summer Split All-Pro team. And for the mid lane, Froggen had the highest KDA, the fewest deaths, and the most assists for a mid, as he kept his super team in first place all split long.
I would have picked Froggen too. He's just crazy good in mid lane.
I think he is by far the best laner in Europe.
when I spend that much time on actually playing the game and trying to be really good, then I really like to be recognized for actually doing well as well.
I think the thing is that Froggen enjoys the game to an extreme level, where most other pros, they love the game, but they don't enjoy it so much they can keep playing it for 14 hours, day in and day out, for years.
The reason Froggen is so good and has stayed so good for so long is he just loves to play the game.
I see him in 90% of my games. He's either against me or with me. Froggen is one of these players who have been around for actually a while, and is one of the players who actually kept playing all the time, meanwhile others who have been around for the same amount of time kind of dropped out. It's actually cool to see that he actually keeps playing and keep developing as a player, because he's already so good that he can even get better.
This year it's really important to finish first, because we can avoid the first seeds from the other regions, which is obviously something we want to do because it will help us in the group stages to actually get further.
It was disappointing that we didn't get to go to Worlds last year, but I don't feel like we deserved it. This year I think we deserve it because we've been playing well the whole split, so hopefully we'll make it.
Worlds last year was kind of disappointing because I didn't get to play. This year we will turn it all around and we will be the ones playing on the big stage.